Welcome to the Point of View Vijay Mohan Raj channel. Namaskar. Today I have with me a person who has been one of the most popular sportsmen during the time period 1990 and 2000. And ask me why. Somebody who has done so much for the game of cricket, and he has not only worked as a player, he's not only done a lot as a player, but he's been a part of that the cricket demands from a particular cricketer. He's been an administrator, he's been a coach, he's been a selector, a national selector, he's been a commentator, and apart from that, he has done so much for the players on his own. Welcome to our show, Venkatapathy, Raju.
Thank you very much.
I have the privilege of having you today. It's been very difficult to get you because of the IPL season. You've been busy.
It's always a big honor. First and foremost, don't say that we welcome you.
But I'm so happy that my listeners have the privilege of getting information from you.
Thank you very much.
So before we start talking about cricket, this is all about Venkatapathy, Raju.
Thank you.
People want to know about you.
Sure.
They want to know your journey from the time that you thought you started understanding what a game of cricket is. They want to know how your journey has taken place from there.
Sure. That'll be very interesting. Yeah, it's like I come from a small village. I was fortunate that my dad was head of the village. So it was only Telugu. And then ZPH High School.
Jilla Parishad
School. So when I went there, the teacher who was there would always feed me a dosa and ask me to go and play.
Okay.
And in the evening we had tuition, so he could finish all the subjects in the tuition. So that privilege we had. I was quite a naughty guy.
Okay.
Guy who always loved to climb trees, play, and then somehow I don't know, always had some power in my left hand. If you ask me, I'm a normal right-hander, but there was something which is going to be interesting, which I'll tell you later. And I was a naughty guy, climbing all the trees and then running around like a young spoiled kid. And I think one of my dad's friend saw me playing instead of going to school. So he went and complained to my dad. So dad felt if he is in town or in the village, nobody is going to question him because he's my son. So they had to put me in a boarding school, which was quite interesting because one of my cousin, he put me in a school where it was St. John's Higher Secondary School, Gannavaram, near Vijayawada. It's run by a missionary organization. So it's got a famous school. So I never knew a bit of English. So then when I just went into the boarding, they were all sisters who were standing there and they're trying to get something out of me in English, which I was not following. And that was interesting because I had to go to the restroom. So I was trying to give the attention, but then I was not able to, they were not following me. So I was not able to follow. So I just ran outside. So they thought I was running back to my village. So they went all over searching for me, but I just walked in. They asked me, where did you go? Luckily, a servant was working. I had to ask them, no, what exactly they're asking. So that's where my life started. Yeah, but then it was more of football. Cricket was very less in that part of the state. So football and that's other sports like athletics and all over there. But then my dad felt, not only here, I think Hyderabad is the place where he felt that his son will prosper.
Okay.
So not in cricket wise. Probably he thought I'll become something big in other things. But then public school changed my life. So this is what.
So you came to Hyderabad at what age?
1977.
At what age?
8 years.
8 years.
8 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then Hyderabad was totally different. I had my dad's younger sister.
Yeah.
So they were residents of Hyderabad, so RTC Crossroads. So it was very new for us. Life was compared to Gannavaram, it was slightly faster.
Okay.
And then you had to travel a bit.
Okay.
And then you had to go through a course where you had to get into a public school.
Okay.
So I came here completing my 4th class. So public school, it was 5th, So boarding school, it was tough. Not Begumpet, it was Ramatapur Public School.
Okay.
Begumpet, to get admission in Begumpet was quite tough. There's a sister concern school in Ramatapur,
Okay.
so where, studies I was decent. I won't say I was great in studies. I was decent. I could get my pass marks. So then a bit of influence and here and there. So we got into public school. So public school was where my life started changing.
Okay.
Especially how tough it is to be on your own
Okay.
in a boarding school.
So this was a residential school all the time.
All the time, right from my
Okay. Right from
education.
the time you came from a village, you were in a residential
Yeah,
school.
once I came out of my village, I've always been in a residential school, and it had its own benefits.
Okay.
A lot of friends, no pressure at all.
Okay.
And there was everyone who was willing to help you if you're a sportsman.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
That just goes to show that I always believe that when you're young, when you're a kid, you're coming up in life, and you go through so many learning experiences.
Yep.
That's the time when the real you comes out, and I think that your story is very similar to what my thought process is.
Well, basically, it was
Yeah.
more of a Mumbai style. Right?
Yeah.
You have to be on your own
Correct.
to succeed. I
Correct.
think that's where. But the most interesting part was we had all the sports.
Yeah.
Public school gave you. They had all the activities and then their own grounds.
Okay.
You never had to travel, so we could utilize that time, unlike the day scholars,
Okay.
to our advantage. So being head of the class and age groups, you always had this sports day participation, right? So
Right.
you had to win a lot of games to win the overall championship.
True.
And being a head of that group at the under 14s, and I was a captain of Red House. It was called the Vijayanagar. So it gave me opportunity to participate in all. If I good or
Okay.
bad, you could get a certificate when you
Okay.
won something.
So, what is the story of you being a right-hander, and but you knew something was you had some power in your left hand? Very interesting. So, did you start
Practice.
bowling with your right hand first, and then you started bowling left hand? How is it?
Yeah, because this under 14s.
Yeah.
So we had a sir called Mr. Anjay Shastri.
Okay.
So he was given the responsibility to pick players
Okay.
for the selection process.
Okay.
So he would come around all the classes and ask for guys who are interested, and then you had to just put a hand up, note down. So when you
Okay.
went to the ground, they would throw balls at you, catch and throw back.
Okay.
So he threw the ball, I caught it and threw it with my left hand. He said, "Are you left-hander?" I said, "Yes." I don't know, he just came out.
You just
He said,
discovered.
"Are you a left-hander?" Yeah, I said left-hander. They said, "Okay, come and stand." But there were very less left-handers during that time because Hyderabad was known for off spinners.
Yeah, that's right.
Loads and loads of off spinners. So left-hand spinners were very minimum.
Okay.
So next day when he asked me to bowl, I bowled with my right hand. He said, "You said you're left-hander." I said, "No, only throw." I had to throw that's why I said some magic. Even now I write with my right hand, play badminton with right hand,
Okay.
caroms left hand, right, and bowling.
Okay.
So then the sir said, luckily he told me, "Don't worry, you got age on your side. So start rotating your arm with cock ball." So like I said, Saturday, Sundays was for hostlers. House 1, house 2, house 3. We always had competition.
Okay.
So in between two football courts, we would just put a stone and play matches.
Okay.
So that's where I started really enjoying my role as a bowler.
Okay.
Then came the under 14s. So I was captaining the under 14 Hyderabad team, and then started doing well. As more of a tappa bowler, what you call in Mumbai, a tappa bowl on the spot, and I was a miser. I would never give runs. So I was lucky that I had that control.
So were you ever coached as a kid, as a child? Like today we have coaches, so many coaches for some players. Did you also experience that you had people to coach you on how to bowl?
No, not.
How did you learn how to bowl?
Not really, because Mr. Shastri, he just gave you the basics. Like he told, just hold this way. This is what the spinners do, and just keep bowling.
Yeah.
And they gave you that freedom to learn on your own. And fortunately for us, during that time, like I said, because it was a public school, the senior team coach was Mr. Abid Ali. So he was a big name that time. So he would come to the school thrice a week. So we just got a glimpses of watching an international cricketer. The way he was teaching them, the way he was really talking to them, the way he put the words into the mind. Right. That really gave you, just watching, you could learn so much. And then that gave us more and more, it created more interest. And like we had this inter-school matches. There were so many matches to play, right? League
Right,
matches.
right.
And then matting. So matting helped
Right.
us a bit. Because the bounce was totally different. And then, like I said, I was a captain. So I had the freedom to express myself when it came to batting and bowling.
Okay.
So that was a bit of an advantage for me. And yeah, like you said, coaching was minimum.
Okay.
So you had to watch and learn.
Great. So you used to go and watch matches. That's what you
Yeah,
said.
that gave us a lot of opportunities because, we all know that cricket was very limited that time.
Yeah.
So, and then when it came to the Ranji Trophy level, so it was more of a zone-wise, where two teams could qualify.
So when did you realize that you had the potential to come into a Ranji Trophy team?
In the under-19s, the under-19,
Okay.
we had this Youth World Cup,
Okay.
the first ever Youth World Cup. It was not under-19 World Cup. In 1988, we had this Youth World Cup.
Okay.
So, but before that, I made my Ranji debut.
You made your Ranji Trophy in
Ranji debut.
86,
86, 86 when I was
86,
17. Just
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
out to 17. And then under 22 was All India.
Okay.
Right. When you played South Zone, two teams qualified, you would go and play against North Zone, South Zone, West Zone, and you had some great players. Like when you played North, it was more of attacking. When you played West, you had to really work hard to get their wickets.
Yeah.
The technique was totally different. They would tire you down.
Yeah.
So I think that really taught us how to go about. And more than that, I think the league system was so good. All the international cricketers, first-class cricketers,
Everyone is.
everyone was available. Banks, they were strong, but then I think we should give credit to the normal private teams like Hyderabad.
So Venkat,
Blues.
I'll just stop you here.
Yeah.
Now, your journey to Ranji Trophy, you told the listeners. Now I need to know the difficult part comes in your life. When you come into the Ranji Trophy, then the competition level comes up.
Yeah.
And your next step is, of course, playing for India after that. Yeah. So how did you feel when you came into the Ranji Trophy team, and when did you feel that yes, you had the potential to become a player who could play for the country?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question because right from the under 15 days, we always had good competition. Like we've been talking about, be it batting, bowling, or all-rounders, whatever it was, you had a lot of competition. Right from your under 14 days. There were so many talented cricketers, unlike now, where it has become more of a rich people game. Then it was more of people who really had the passion to play.
Okay.
And they were all as good as anybody. So the competition started right from there. So I always believed in myself, like if you bowl well, you are bound to perform. Right. So to do that, you have to bowl well. And when you, like I said, when you keep watching about a player, or when you discuss with the seniors who told you what to do, because they always advised you what to do on the field. Their role was that. Now we never had.
But did you feel at that time that yes, now one day I'm going to play for the country?
Yeah, like I told you, I was a tappa bowler.
Yeah.
So on a slightly helpful wicket, I would get 4, 5 wickets, 6 wickets, or I was a miser. So I think that gave an advantage for me, and I could bat a bit.
Yeah.
I could stand there, or we had a lot of good partnerships which contributed to the team. And then I was an easygoing guy. I never put a lot of pressure on myself, saying that cricket is only my life.
Okay.
Yeah, it was more of a sport where you wanted to excel, you wanted to do well, and the competition is going to be there. So to be competitive, you have to prepare yourself.
So this is an interesting part, because what I am noticing in today's scenario is that the number of players there are millions of players.
Million of players.
And every state has a pool of 100 players. Let's not talk about the quality. Who are wanting to play for the state. And there's so much pressure on them.
Yeah.
They want their interest to play for the state, and then of course after that the country. Is so much on them that I feel that mentally they have too much of anxiety problems. You didn't have anything of that kind? Did you ever feel that you were pushing yourself?
Well, luckily there was no pressure from parents.
Okay.
Parents never came.
Okay.
They just encouraged you to play a game. Because they were more bothered about your education. Okay. So they just wanted you to settle down, get a job and settle down.
Okay.
But then cricket gave us the freedom to travel.
True.
And it was like we all know, it's a a team game, and everything was taken care. Like unlike the other sports,
Okay.
right from your school days or your school team or your state team, you always travel together,
True.
and that really gave that bonding. And then
So,
like,
are there any instances that you can remember which made a difference to your cricketing life growth? I'm talking about the growth part, not. I've still not come to your test level. I'm not discussing that right now, but we are discussing your journey. So, during your journey, are there any instances or occasions or experiences which made a very big difference to your life,
Yeah,
cricketing life?
the trip to England in 86,
Okay.
87, the Hyderabad Blues. Like, I
Okay.
think you were the manager. You've been playing a lot of matches there for
Okay.
Yorkshire. In Yorkshire, you played a lot of cricket, and then I think that was a tradition where they felt that young players had to travel
Yeah.
just to get used to those conditions.
True.
I think that was one of the best tours because that was the first time as an youngster we were going out of the country.
Okay.
And then we heard about Harrow Public School, we heard about Eton Public School, and then how cricket is seen in England. And then we only heard, but we never experienced. And the way the team was together, put up in schools, you're traveling, playing against some quality teams.
Yeah.
I think that really gave us, that first-hand experience
Okay.
where you felt, okay, this is where you have to really work hard and learn the tricks and trades of the game on different conditions. I think that really gave us that advantage at a very young age. The travel itself, going and experiencing what cricket is all about.
Okay. So, do you remember any incidents during visiting these public schools in England? Do you remember any
Yeah,
incidents?
food was a problem. And
Yeah.
most of the boys never knew how to eat with knife and fork. So I think, Vijay, who was the captain, Venkatapathy Raju was a vice captain, both were from public schools. So we were a bit used to, and like we spoke about you because we have traveled so much.
Uh,
So I think, the guidance was very important for the
Okay.
other boys. It was a beautiful bunch of players, very talented guys. One is a police commissioner now, C.V. Anand. He was also part of that. I think most of us really benefited from that tour.
okay.
And when we came back, now I think there was a lot of difference in our attitude and approach to the game.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, it gave us an opportunity to play against the best of players. Watching them play, how they go about to become successful. I think that really taught us, and then interacting with the international cricketers and the Ranji players, the Ranji stars, who are as good as any international player. I think that, for me, at an young age, was a plus point.
So, in '86, you made your debut.
Yeah.
And then you were part of the team that won the Ranji Trophy in '87, Delhi.
Yeah.
So let us talk about that experience. Being a part of a team which has gone through the whole journey of winning Ranji Trophy, and I think that was after 49 years, Hyderabad actually won the Ranji Trophy, and it's never won again.
So, like, now, why we keep telling again and again that we were fortunate, because at an young age we got a chance to play for Hyderabad. And then that 86, 87, my debut match in Sirpur, Kagazinagar, I think it's a mixed match for me because dropped 2 catches. Right.
True,
Because
true.
that on the 40th over, that made a lot of difference for us to qualify that season.
Okay.
But that was my first match. And luckily we had a manager who could understand the youngster, how to know how they feel when they drop 2 catches. I said 1 catch was okay, but the second catch was a sitter.
Okay.
So normally we catch, but I think that's where youngsters coming and playing against the big boys.
Yeah.
The so-called pressure. Till then it was okay. So we never felt that pressure. And then after dropping those 2 catches, I think life probably changed me, the approach. But there were some good points, some bad points, because getting Fazlur Rahman, the left-hander, that was my first wicket caught by Narasimha Rao brilliantly. And then the second match when we went to Kerala, right, Tellicherry, when you wanted me to be your, because after seeing what all I went through, so because you guys were more experienced, you have seen this right from your childhood playing in Mumbai. So there were so many young boys coming from all over, and then how they struggle or how they really get depressed when they're not picked or they don't perform well. So for me, it was a smooth ride till then.
Yeah.
So, but when you said you wanted me to be your roommate, I was a bit reluctant because I've never been a partner of such a senior player. Right.
Okay.
So, but then probably it was good or bad for me because you wanted to really bring something in me, but the timings were totally different. And then probably you might have realized that time only this guy is going to be on his own. Yeah, but yeah, that particular match, to be very frank, Tony, I never wanted the ball to come to me.
Okay.
So, but like we say, how your fate changes.
Yeah.
I was standing on middle, high catch. I was literally shivering. Just ran and put my hand, got stuck. But luckily, we had a captain, Vivek Jaisima, whom I played a lot of cricket for the local team, Madpalli. So he understood my mentality. Like that, those are very important points in life, where you
Okay.
had somebody who already knew about your life.
Okay.
So I think that was also a plus point. Then I asked him, I'll come and stand in the slips. I was standing in the first slip, hoping not to come. Hitasham dived. So I fell down on the left-hand side. The ball stuck into my hand. So people thought it was a brilliant catch. Then I said, oh, this is what life is. And that brilliant knock you got, you showed what courage is. Like, when you got hit and going back, coming back with stitches and getting that brilliant 90, that taught us the character, what it takes to be a good player. Because, on what it takes to win. So that we could see the very next year in 87, 88. But for me, I think 1 to 10 all got hundreds.
True.
But then we had some classical spinners in the, during that time we had Shivalal Yadav, Arshad Ayub, Narsib Rao all played, and then being part with them in that 14. I think it was a great pleasure for me because I played till the semi-finals when Shivalal came back, part of the finals, which I again did a blunder where I missed Mohindra Mana's run out. It was easy run out where I tried to throw and then the ball fell down. And there were a lot of stairs for 10 to 15 overs.
So I'll just stop you here, and I want my listeners to know that success doesn't come every time.
Yep.
It comes. There's a process, and failures are a stepping stone to success.
Yep. Yeah.
You have to have the experience of certain moments in your life where you had failures in order to understand the importance of success.
Yeah.
So
Very
I think whatever you've said so far, and you've been very candid about admitting where you were wrong.
Yeah.
You're talking more about the areas where you did not do well, rather than only talk about what you have done well.
Yeah.
And that is a great lesson for the youngsters who are listening to this interview, that you should not give up.
Yeah, like Tony, what I can say, because I was from a public school, and then the seniors knew me because I played against them in league matches.
True.
And like I said, they understood what I was. They always gave that feedback for me to improve from that. Nobody was disgracing me.
Yeah.
They knew there was some potential in me where I can play first-class cricket. And like I said, you taking initiative to take me under you as a roommate. Yeah, we didn't succeed that much, but then that itself was more encouraging for us because there was something where people felt, and they felt that there's some talent. Unlike nowadays, it's more of probably they might be saying that we are playing a lot more cricket than what we did, but I think during those days, cricket might not be an IPL, but there was a lot of cricket which was played.
True.
Which played, and then something like the Harlem Trophy, where it gave you a chance to play against the best of players and then relax.
True.
It was more of good cricket with a lot of friendship.
True. So a lot of fun.
Yeah, good fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun. I can recollect that. That was one tournament where we had a lot of fun, all of us.
Yeah.
Whichever team you were from, you did meet together.
No, for a youngster like me, or a lot of youngsters from Hyderabad who never got a chance to meet or play against international cricketers.
True.
And they were not playing for a state; they were playing for their own Mafatlal or Tatas. And Tatas was as good as any international team.
Okay.
So it was more of playing like an international game.
Yeah.
Away from home.
So Venkat, now after this, you did make a breakthrough into the Indian team.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what happened between this and that? How did that breakthrough happen?
Luckily for me, I think Developmental Trophy was very, very important.
Yeah.
And the best part about those days was, first year when you did well, people would notice you. So it was all about the second season. how you cope up with the pressure. So first year was quite decent. Second year, not bad. Third year, yep, that's where, like I said, when we win the Ranji Trophy, you keep getting more opportunities playing against best teams, and when you do well, you get into the South Zone team. I think the South Zone team during that time, where Azhar was the captain, uh, especially in Gymkhana, because that's where I started my career. My first state game for under 15 Hyderabad was in Gymkhana.
True.
And my last Ranji game was also in Gymkhana. And me coming into the Indian team because of this performance in Gymkhana against Central Zone.
Okay.
And like I said, we always say, right people at the right time.
Yeah.
Azharuddin, captaining that South Zone team.
True.
And you had a couple of players who already we played with, probably for South Zone and all. And then that one spell which I bowled, where I got the 6 wickets. Rajbhai, he was the chairman, and then he was watching that particular game.
Okay.
So I think winning matters a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, about how much ever you perform, I think winning matters a lot. Yeah, in that some might be lucky, some might be very unlucky.
Yeah.
But then we can never forget the contribution what the players in that particular team gave for us to become a good Indian player. Okay. So that we can never forget in our life. And then that was a beautiful learning lesson. So that particular spell what I bowled in Gymkhana, I think that gave, like I said, I was not nervous because we already playing against the best of players.
So your career has been...
you can say up and down?
No, your career has been huge. I mean, from the point of view of that, you played 28 test matches, you played 177 first-class games, and took 589 wickets. And I think that is an achievement, and you're very humble about it. Whatever I can get, or whatever everybody can feel now that I'm talking to you, you're very humble about it. It's not taken you to a different plane altogether. And that's very good that you're still on ground. You're not you never tried to project your position as a player with any youngsters and all that.
No, because this, like, we can go back again watching those matches. Like when we were youngsters, you watch a lot of games where there were so many great stars who never got a chance to play for India.
Yeah, true.
Right. There were big names. If you see, there's so many guys. Like I said, we were at the right time.
Yeah.
But did well during that time, and there was a vacancy, so we could just come in.
Agree with you.
Yeah. So we already know that there were so many people who have been waiting. So I felt that once you get a chance, and then the dream of playing for the country, was always there in your mind. So we had to really do well and sustain there at that level. Coming to Ranji Trophy is not bad at that age, but then surviving for 16 to 17
playing
years.
for India is a very big thing.
Yeah, big thing.
People don't realize it, but we are a huge country.
Huge country, yeah.
And to get an opportunity to play for India is amazing. And not only play, you have to stick around there. You have to be able to earn your place and remain in the team. That is the crucial part.
So we just forgot about the family side also, right? Uma, and then I got 2 kids, Vikram and Vijay. Yeah, like Vijay, he's well settled, and then I should actually thank my wife. She was never from a cricket background, and then but the way they handle our life. People feel that cricketer's life is more flamboyant, and then we had our own ways. Like you said, we had our own ways. Then being in public school and being with the team, it was always more of the team side. We didn't spend much time at home. So, but then things are changing, and then Tony said, it's one life, we should enjoy. Then he said, why I'm so humble? No, nothing to be humble. We all, like he said, we all know what we have done.
Yeah.
And then if we are helpful and people feel that we can do a difference, we're always there to help them.
Great.
Yeah, that's the only thing we can say.
For being a part of the winning Hyderabad team, changed your perspective towards your game?
So the best part those days, we never had a coach, just a manager. And 14-member team.
Yeah.
And you already knew the 11.
Yeah.
Four extras, right? Then I was the 12th man. Then we had Mohammad Afan, who was a brilliant left-hander.
True.
Youngster, so I was happy that year. And another youngster. Then we had Swaroop.
Yeah.
And then Jyoti Shetty. Right. Swaroop was young, I was young, and Afan. So 3 young boys in that particular team. So The friendship was good, but then playing against Delhi in a final match, and we all know the green wicket what they gave. That it was itself was a big experience for us. And then the places where we stayed, there were no five-star hotels. It was just a national club. And then the evening fun what we had, where there were some ghazals. And then I think that's the first time where youngsters had the chance to really mingle with
Correct.
the seniors.
Yeah.
Where everybody was expressing themselves.
True.
And like I said, but for me, I think whoever played that season got hundreds.
Yeah.
So the confidence was so high. And like I mentioned, winning makes a lot of difference. So because you won the Ranji Trophy, you got a chance to play Irani Trophy.
And we won the Ranji Trophy as well.
Irani Trophy. Nobody remembers that. Unfortunately, it rained so much.
Yeah.
People forgot that we won an Irani Trophy. So we don't always talk about the Irani Trophy. But then, like I said, the selectors give more importance watching these games.
Okay.
And they always told, play Irani Trophy is one step close to playing international cricket. Even though I was not part of the 11, but then that winning habit.
Okay.
And the pride. And then beating the best teams in the country and lifting trophy.
Yeah.
And how can we forget the way we were received at a railway station that took us for a ride on a open top Alvin capster.
True.
And then how people really enjoyed that particular moment. And then you sending off in style, scoring a 200. You're used to winning Ranji trophies with Mumbai team, but never with Hyderabad team.
True.
So at least I think that slowly passed on.
Yeah.
The winning habit. I think it just came in. And then
so when I came in from Bombay, I always had this in my back of my mind that I've shifted my association from Mumbai to Hyderabad, and I would like to see Hyderabad winning the Ranji Trophy one day.
Yeah.
I always had this in my, and I'm so fortunate that I ended my career with a win in the Ranji Trophy.
Yeah, that's what I said. No, you're so used to winning Ranji Trophy. Mumbai is so used to winning Ranji Trophy. So we've been struggling, and like you said, 49 years. It took 49 years for us. And many times we tried. We thought we came close, but we were not that close to win.
Yeah.
I think probably that was the best moment
Yeah.
for me as an youngster.
So I'd like to tell my listeners that Ranji Trophy is a very big tournament.
Yep.
It's not like playing a test match and bilateral or a World Cup and all. It's a different kind of tournament for the reason that there's a very difficult build-up. The build-up to the finals or the semi-finals is huge. There's 7-8 games that you have to continue to keep the same momentum, the same form. And also then the players go through ups and downs.
Ups and downs, and you're playing against the best teams.
So it's hell of a teamwork
Yep.
to come into and win the Ranji Trophy.
A lot of planning, a lot of hard work,
True.
a lot of understanding.
Yeah.
The players understanding and taking that responsibility.
So you're fortunate that we won the Ranji Trophy that year and the Irani Trophy.
Yeah.
And but I would like to ask you on this: what do you think has happened since then? Why do you think that we could not repeat that performance?
Yeah, I think initially cricket was played. A lot of people told cricket was played so that you get a job. Once you get a government job or a bank job, they said you were more secured. So then you can enjoy your Ranji Trophy.
Yeah, okay.
I think probably when we started winning, that created a lot of interest.
Okay.
So a lot of people started thinking that they can come and win Ranji Trophy for Hyderabad. So I think probably that's where we can blame the administration, where I think it was not just the talent; it were other things which just crept in, which was rather unfortunate. Like it was more of a knockout basis, where you had to do well. So the best team was picked, or your season ended. I think we should give the credit to the selectors who came and watched those games during that time when you had the best of players. I think that somehow slowly faded away. Talent-wise, when we talk, I think Hyderabad had enough talent. Even now we have talent, but it's not in proper hands.
Okay.
So the proper hands, being in proper hands is very, very important. And I think why Mumbai always do well, because you might be the best of players, but the following what is there from former cricketers.
Yes, true.
And then the press or the local teams. That they always took pride, their players representing Mumbai. Right. And then if you're not good, you won't find a place.
True.
You might be the best performer
True.
this particular season, but then like you're talking about the consistency.
Yes, yes.
So the pressure is always there. I think they had a lot of pressure getting picked for Mumbai, then getting picked from
I can
Hyderabad.
recollect one Ranji game where I got out on 98
Yeah.
against Maharashtra for Bombay to versus Maharashtra, and I got run out.
Yeah.
And I got run out in a very funny way. It was not going for a run, but I was playing the new ball, and it hit my boot and it went to gully, and I
Okay.
was outside the crease.
Okay. Oh.
And we were going for quick runs at that time. So my first reaction was to go for a run, thinking I didn't know where the ball was, and I got run out.
Yeah.
And when I came in, I was bad. The game was we were way ahead of the other team, but my coach, he blasted me. He said, "It's not the runs you got 98; it's the way you got out.
Yeah.
That is what you should be ashamed of."
They would be watching. That's why I'm saying.
And he didn't say well played to me at all.
No way.
And I felt bad. I said, at least you should. I've done well. It's not good enough. It's the way you get out that's very important.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
playing a test match, we're more happy because it was the crowd was shouting. But you play a Ranji game in Mumbai, and that in Wankhede Stadium,
True.
you just put your eyes up, right above the dressing room. You will find
All the former players.
full of players,
Yeah.
and you can't fool around.
You can't hold on.
Yeah, and but if you can impress them,
Yeah.
so I think you can go a long way, because there's a great experience with Dr. M. Sridhar, the late M. Sridhar, when he batted against that Mumbai in that famous match where they scored 900 runs and we were getting back. So that 187 he scored. So every time he would just look up and then tell me, because I think we have to keep our head down and play.
Yeah.
We can't fool around, and they're going to watch every ball.
True.
And like you rightly said, the way you got out mattered for them.
Mattered for them.
Yeah. There are no stupid shots, no hanky-panky shots.
Yes.
And you did that.
So cricket has changed a lot since then, because today with this IPL coming in, the thought process is different.
Yep.
You're playing all kinds of shots.
Yep.
I think the coaching manual has gone for a toss.
Totally.
You don't coach people now.
No, we don't.
You just tell them, okay, where can you hit the ball now? Tell us. So
I think, that's why I think the coaches will be more important for under 14, under 15,
Yes.
still under 19.
yeah.
I think the basics, whatever you teach,
Yeah.
the basics have to be there. Then after that, God help,
Yeah.
because like you rightly said, life has
So
changed.
you've been a coach as well, and you were with the ACC.
Yeah.
You were a consultant. Your experience with ACC as a coach, going to different countries, watching players, teaching them, giving lectures to coaches. I want to hear something on that.
I did some things which I never really wanted to do. I never wanted to become a selector, which I became. Never wanted to be a team coach. Right. I was more of an individual or an academy coach, where I thought I would spend time there rather than sitting the whole day. And I had a very bad experience being when they made me the Hyderabad coach, like where we were bowled out for 21.
Okay.
Yeah, against Rajasthan. Yeah, then I knew that I was not a guy who would sit there the whole day and try to work on a team. So I was more comfortable working one-on-one with spinners or in academy. Yeah, but then this was a great experience for me. We were called the development officers. We were not actually coaches. We were supposed to be the development officers, where we were given a couple of countries. And then those development officers were always international cricketers from their country.
Okay.
Like ACC was formed when Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, and Sri Lanka could have their presidents. And these 4 international cricketers would be the development officers.
Okay.
Those 5 countries, you have to go and then help them out what they require. If they require a coach, or if they are planning to have a ground,
Okay.
what all is required to get a ground. So we had to give a report to the ACC, where once we gave our report, it was as good as done.
Okay.
That was more hard work. Like we had to go, then there are a lot of criteria, ICC criteria and ACC criteria, where they had to follow. So we were helping them how to follow that. So it was real fun. And like you said, that gave more joy, because you're helping some country to develop.
Okay.
And we were very lucky that 4 or 5 countries participated in World Cup. The UAE participated in World Cup.
Okay.
Hong Kong participated in World Cup. Then
You did Malaysia as well.
yeah, Nepal qualified. So there were so many teams which qualified for World Cups.
Okay.
So that was very, very interesting part. And then Roger Binney was there for 7 years before me. They did all the dirty work, and when I came in, it was more refined.
Okay.
Like the cricket changing days. When I came in, it was more properly done. So, but that gave us opportunity to pick good players, give them scholarship.
Okay.
Then we had to conduct a camp in anywhere in Asia, which was funded by Asian Cricket Council. I think that was one of the best parts of my life when it came to development of cricket. I won't say coaching of cricket, I would say development of cricket. Bad experience, Hyderabad, but then ACC.
But you were a national selector as well. So, what was your experience as a national selector? I'm not going to talk about Hyderabad
Yeah, because then you had to be a Hyderabad selector
to become a national
to
selector.
be national because of the vice president, and then you had to hold a post in your state association
Okay.
to be a national selector.
Okay.
So I think selection was quite good in Ranji Trophy also, because nobody dared to come close to us, and nobody had the guts to influence us. So we thought that we had some good players playing during that time. So that gave an opportunity for me to be part of the Indian team.
Okay.
Indian team selection committee. It was up and down because fortunately for me, the chairman was Dilip Venkatapathy.
Okay.
And thanks to Bishan Singh Bedi, he made me share my room with Dilip Venkatapathy in 1990
Okay.
on the tour of England. So Dilip Bhai, is a character, loves his sport, and he was part of that talent development team which they started.
Yeah, TRDO.
TRDO. So he had that vision. So luckily for us, the team was already picked on their own, but for 1 or 2. But like I said, I was never ever wanted to become a selector. But then the opportunity was because it was Hyderabad's turn
Okay.
to become a selector. So it was by default.
Okay.
The default coming in, and fortunately for me, there were a couple of players who were playing when I was part of the team.
Okay.
So we knew the players, so it was easy to interact with them. And then it was up and down. We thought we picked the best possible team in 2007 50-over World Cup. We didn't qualify, where we lost in the first 2 games, and then we didn't qualify for Super 8s.
Yeah.
And then we thought cricket is going down again. So there were a lot of hue and cry, how much the players should be paid. And then the board was not happy. They're doing a lot of commercials. And then fortunately, somehow, we got into that 2007 T20 World Cup.
Okay.
I think our board was the only board which didn't want to have a T20 tournament out
Okay.
of 10 boards.
Okay.
So that just gave us an opportunity to just pick the youngest players,
Okay.
good all-rounders, domestic performance and international performance. So that's where Dhoni came in as a captain.
Okay.
So
that was during your time.
Yeah. So he was vice captain. They were planning him to bring him as a vice captain. Then for during that time, when we felt that the team didn't do well, the seniors were told, thanks to Venkatapathy, who had to explain to them that because it's the first time we're playing a T20 World Cup, we're going with young guys.
Okay.
So I think it's just by luck where we found a lot of young all-rounders.
Okay.
And guys who were very good in fielding.
Okay.
So it was by default, we picked them.
Yeah.
And then never expected that we'll win a World Cup.
Super. Super.
Yeah.
So that must be an achievement which you would be cherishing all the time. Yeah.
After the first game, when we had that bowl out,
Yeah.
the way Dhoni, picked his bowlers and that clicked,
Yeah.
there we knew that something great is going to happen.
Very good.
And like after that 93, what happened to India?
Yeah.
I think this 2007 again it changed. The interest in Indian crowd, and then the expectations of India not losing
Yeah.
has
True.
become more high.
True. True. Winning the World Cup changes everything.
Yeah, for me it was big because I was part of 2 World Cups in 91 and 96.
Yeah.
So we came till the semi-finals, but could never put a hand on a World Cup. So sitting there and team winning and being part of that team as a selector.
I'll just repeat, you're being very humble. I mean,
it's not that's
you've
where we
done
are.
so much of good work and you've achieved. I mean, you have not got credit for that which is due to you, for all the things that you have personally achieved for the country and for your state and things like that.
No, I've been
So
like that.
hats off to you. You're being very humble about it.
I've been like that, and like I told you,
Yeah.
we were from boarding school.
Yeah.
Like I said, everybody has a dream. Everybody wants to play. Doesn't mean that you were lucky to achieve that. There's so many
Okay.
who tried but they could not after doing some build. That's
So I'm now moving on to something very interesting where I think the listeners would want to know from you, a person like you would be able to give good direction. Game has changed.
Yeah.
Yeah. From your time and from what it is now. From what I remember about you is you were a classical left-arm spinner.
Yeah.
And the kind of bowler who would tease the batsman, who would use little very subtle variations in order to beat the batsman, to get your wickets. Today's cricket is obviously different.
Yeah, T20.
So I want you, first we'll talk about your department, that is the spin bowling department, and then we'll go to the general thing. What do you think is the difference between a spinner bowling in today's modern cricket and what you were at your time?
Yeah.
You can deal with Test cricket separately and
No, I think T20 it's more of a fun type game, which is going to be a future. So probably for television or for the spectators' view, I think T20 has become like a movie where the game gets over in three hours.
Yeah.
So it's more of entertainment, bang cricket. We were speaking about pajama cricket now.
So what would be a spinner's experience in that?
Still,
How do you?
the basics. The basics have to be there. Just the trajectory changes.
Okay.
Right. So that's what you are supposed to. You might be hit for a couple of sixes, but then in the end, the wickets matter. That's why you're finding more wrist spinners coming in.
Okay.
So you're not finding too many off spinners.
Okay.
So normal traditional bowling has been hit all over.
Yeah.
So they're more into the Kuldeep Yadavs and leg spinners.
Okay.
But then still, spin plays a vital role. And then how you train yourself. The pressure is more. Bats are good. The rules favor the batters more. After the switch it coming in and a lot of things coming in, I think it's quite tough on the bowlers. But then, like when you play the game, when you choose the game, you have to work on your own. You have to work with your experts, try to get those variations and the will to perform.
So then what happens in Test cricket?
So, yeah,
you think the same people are capable of playing both why
formats? Not? Play those 40 games. Ranji Trophy becomes very important. Like we are talking about Ranji Trophy. Ranji Trophy gives you that opportunity to master your skill in a match.
Okay.
So the longer, the better for you.
Okay.
The shorter becomes that much easier when you play the longer version. Play as much as possible. Let it be anywhere. Let it be a 2-day game. Let it be a 3-day game. Just go play. Just analyze yourself.
Yeah, because this mind, this barriers that players have in the mind that I'm a one-day bowler, or I'm going to bowl flat, and then they try to do the same style when they're playing in a longer format. So this is something which my listeners would like to know.
No.
Is there something which says that now this guy is can you label somebody as a T20 bowler, and can you label that another person as only a Test bowler? Can you do that?
I think that's become a trend nowadays. But then I think
is that
I think
true?
we should sometimes blame the player also, because they don't want to go back and play 40 games.
Okay.
They themselves are putting in such a way that nobody wants to miss out IPL. IPL has become more than anything. But, once you play a couple of years in IPL, your life is done.
Okay.
So IPL has become more important than the red ball cricket. So your days or our days, leg spinner used to be one of the rarities.
Yeah.
Leg spin was only for red ball cricket.
Yeah.
And if you see all the highest wicket takers, right from Shane Warne to Anil Kumble to Mustaq Ahmed to over spinners, leg spinners have picked up more wickets in red ball cricket.
Yes.
But now you hardly find anybody playing in Test matches.
Yeah.
Right, which is surprising. I think that again we should go back to the tradition where the state teams encourage leg spinners to play.
True.
Those 3-day and 4-day games. They didn't want them to play 50-over games unless you played 3-4 years of. I think the credit goes to Mr. Gavaskar bringing in L. Ramakrishna at a very tender age in that 1985.
Even
Hirwani came in.
Case,
in 1985, where Shivaramakrishna and Ravi Shastri in Australia.
Yeah.
And then they started winning games. I think that now it's become that rarity has become more of a T20 bowlers.
True.
Yeah, I know. If you ask me, I think we can put the blame on the players too.
Okay. So what do you think is now you're back to your roots? Let's talk about your roots.
Yeah.
Okay. We are all worried about Hyderabad.
Yep.
Yeah. So what do you think can be done in order for us to Hyderabad to win the Ranji Trophy now? Once again.
I think it will start from the administration part.
Okay.
The administrators are the ones who are sitting there. They are the ones who run the show.
Okay.
All right. I think all the successful state teams. I think their state associations are really pulling them a big way. There's so much of money which is coming in from BCCI.
Yes.
I think the money should go back into cricket. And then like we always said.
But do you think it's money alone, or there are other things to be done as well?
Other things, go back to those good old days, knockout tournaments, because we are talking about so many players who want to play. The teams, they might have grown more, right? And in that, you find only 1 or 2 good players.
Okay.
So when I play against those teams, my performance is much better. But once we come back, the quality is not the same when you play a state game.
Yeah, sure.
So we are talking about those good old days where we had the Baramadola or whatever. That's where you have to bring in all the former cricketers, sit down, draw a map, and try to implement that.
True.
Yeah, it might its pleasing days should be over.
Yeah.
We can't please everybody, and then the club secretaries are not going to change because we got limited club secretaries. They're not going to change. But here, they should get that passion to see Hyderabad back to those glorious days. Probably we might not have won so many Ranji Trophy games, but then there were a couple of players who were good enough
To play for the country.
who played well consistently against these good teams.
True.
So that is missing, and then unfortunately we don't find many players playing IPL. Like we're talking about IPL, right?
I don't think anybody is in the.
Only you have Siraj, who's been already playing from last 7
Siraj
years.
and Tilak.
Yeah, Tilak. Both have been there for a long time, and they never played for the local franchise anyway.
Yeah.
So I think which is very sad. Where I think we should follow what Mumbai does. How they take care of the players. Right, they still keep the tradition, and then there are a lot of awards which are given to domestic players when they do well, and then they are all invited when there's a big occasion.
Okay.
Right, let it be a women's final or a Ranji Trophy final, or whenever there's a big felicitation ceremony.
Yeah.
I think a lot of players are invited. That's where the present generation players get to know the former players.
Very important.
Which is missing big time.
Very important.
Big time in, which is very sad. And like you rightly said, the talent-wise is much. Like when we talk about the money, there's enough money which is coming in to not bother about conducting matches. I think your first priority should be conducting those beautiful league matches, cut down on teams.
Yeah.
And then, or you have those knockouts, and then you can have a super league. I think there are a lot of ideas which have been given by a lot of former cricketers. Like including you who have been coming out in newspapers like you said or Kavala, all the players who have gone through this phase, they still want the leagues to be conducted in a proper way.
True.
I think that's the only way where we're going to bring back our cricket on track.
So my listeners have been very fortunate, Venkat, to get this kind of an interview from a person like you, of your caliber.
Yeah.
And I hope that whatever has been spoken by Venkatapathy today is an eye-opener for a lot of people who will be watching this and listening to this podcast. I hope that you give me a lot of likes and subscribe so that I can do more of these kind of programs for you in future. For now, Venkat, I'm so grateful to you for being a part of this particular interview. So, great human being and a great cricketer.
Thank you.
That's all I can tell you.
And after all, I'm a roomie.
Thank you very much for being here and being
keep doing this good work, and then people should understand when people come out and talk. There are some good moments, some bad, sad moments, and some nice moments. Okay. But in the end, we have to enjoy our life. Life is tough.
Right.
It's a challenge. Keep enjoying your life.
Thank you very much, Venkat. Thank you,
Thank you very much.
my listeners, for being on this channel. Thank you.